moving into ARM. I had a beat and a beat. It was a good conversation with Renee Haas, but the guide obviously fell short, even though ARM raised its guide $250
Yeah, well, they held the
million.
full year. That's the issue. So they got to beat the quarter, but they held the full year. So you're kind of implicitly taking the back half down, right? If you do that. Maybe it's the other is you got to remember ARM trades at like 1,000 times price to forward or whatever the number is, right?
Expectations based on the valuation are super high.
Yeah, I mean that one's always volatile.
So it's interesting. I think the licensing at 72% is like eye popping, but I got to tell you, I'm actually more impressed with the 17% royalty increases because it's so much more sticky. They have a product called CSS, which is essentially where ARM is doing more than giving you some soft macros that you can license, right? They're doing software validation. They're taking their IP all the way to the foundry, and they have about 50 different services they put in there. It's higher revenue, higher margin dollars. Companies like AWS, Google, Microsoft with data center. So that to me is super impressive. V9, right? You're seeing, I think they went from 20% of licensing to 25%. Big boost. And by the way, higher margin. I think on the smartphone side, the licenses are double. I think I heard that correctly, which is good. They have about 75% less. 75% left to go, meaning there's still room there. Long term, it'll probably be less 50-50 royalty and license, probably be 60% royalty, 40% licensing and an ongoing concern. That doesn't mean licensing will go down. It just means the company thinks that royalty will go up. Unclear the financial impact of these new ARM-based Windows PCs. We know the challenge or the lawsuits going between Qualcomm and ARM right now.
They didn't talk about that at all, I'm assuming, did they?
I don't know. They didn't. I don't even know how we would model something like that, because they are getting they are getting licensing out of that based on the Nuvia.
Yeah, now the only thing I find hilarious there is, I mean, for ARM in general, it's important for them to be able to tell a story that is not smartphone based over time, right? And Qualcomm is one of the biggest proponents of using ARM in things that are not smartphones, and yet they're suing them. So like, I don't know, but
yeah, customers just want this whole thing to go away. My final comment on this: what's so interesting, ARM in terms of durability, it's not like you're gonna pull out. Like if you're a licensee, it's not like you're gonna completely pull out and go to RISC-V.
Yeah, it's the ecosystem isn't there. I mean, RISC-V is gaining traction. I mean, in
especially at the lower end embedded where there's not a high level operating system.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But the ecosystem's not there, right? I mean,
net, huge valuation. People are looking for it, and they've kind of been bundled with this AI stocks. Like they're bundled in with the NVIDIAs, the AMDs, the Broadcoms, folks like that. So, the expectations are pretty high.
Yeah. I mean, look, by the way, y'all watching the market at all?
Yes.
Jesus. Wow. I didn't actually look for a while. And, now I ran out of the screen to go vomit real quickly. And then I just quickly reminded myself that it's all paper anyway until you sell it. But yeah, it's brutal out there. ARM did fine. I mean, you guys hit it on a lot of it. I thought it was fine. I mean, you beat, and nowadays if you don't do the trifecta, you're just not going to get the pop. And they didn't do the trifecta. Like you said, they did raise last quarter. But people right now, this AI play, it's not about lean, mean, operating beats. It's about crushing. And if you're not crushing, everybody's just kind of like, it's it. But by the way, that's fundamentally baked into the fact that everybody out there that has half a brain knows the economy actually sucks. I'm just saying, like, the economy actually sucks. I've been saying this for a while, and it's not like my moment of victory, but I've been looking at these adjustments that have been made on jobs reports. I've been looking at the actual inflation in the market. I'm like, there's no way. This is such, and I know we've got to kind of dance the dance, but it's just not that good out there. So AI carries the day, and that's what it is. And so if your number isn't huge, if you don't have a great AI story, if you're not showing massive growth, and if you're not guiding up, you're going to just kind of get that blase result. And Stacy, I think you said it well. I don't think it's 1,000, but I think across the
I'm being
kind of the
facetious.
semi, I think I know I'm joking, but across the semi space, I mean, ARM trades at just this remarkably high premium. And so that also leaves less latitude for anything less than amazing because people, so I think in the end, though, they're executing, they're expanding, they've got these data center homegrown chips that they're building on. They're going to expand their footprint into AI. And even if they don't expand it meaningfully, as AI expands, you can't do it without CPUs. So they've got a benefit there. And no matter, which handset kind of ends up being the winner in the AI handsets, Apple or anyone else, there's ARM content. So there's just a lot of nice tailwinds, and they're raising prices, and they've been able to do that somewhat effectively. So all those things together, it's been a good shop. Sorry,
Turn it off.
All right, we just got the explicit rating on YouTube. So,
oh man, I'm sorry. I hope that the people that listen to our show are grown up enough that they can hear an F-bomb when the market's down 800 points in the morning. So off we roll.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You see T-Mobile, Apple, and AMD are actually up. Everybody else is getting slaughtered. Intel's down 27%. I called 25% yesterday.
I've got a message.
That's where they were gonna end up. And again, I'm not the equities guy, but it was just it felt like there would be just a total meltdown, and we have a meltdown.